freaking haunts me, man. That fear, it actually stops me from being me. If we keep compressing that fear and just keeping it into ourselves, I really feel like that energy becomes dense.
Let the rain pour, cause it can't hurt me no more. Let the rain pour, cause it nourishes the floor. Let the rain pour, cause it can't hurt me no more. Let the rain pour, cause it nourishes the...
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Holly Williams. My work, however, goes underneath In Me Arten, which means the light within me. Of course, that light was cultivated in the darkness, so don't forget that. But basically, that means you can find me on social media platforms such as Instagram and TikTok under inme.arten. Anyway, let's get on with today's video. This one's kind of random, you know, like it's just kind of sprung upon me and I thought I need to make this video and really talk about dealing with fear. Fear is something that cripples us, and to be honest, I think that fear is a natural thing for the human being to experience, of course. And I started to think now really that any form of pain is pretty much an opportunity to heal. Fear is a type of pain, I guess. I guess it's a cross between maybe psychological and emotional pain or something. Do you know what I mean? Fear is like, it's this weird type of energy or something. But it hurts, you know, fear hurts. I like to look at my fears really and kind of learn to slowly overcome them. I've got rid of a bunch of old fears, but there is still one fear that I have from this previous phase of life. This fear has been around for, you know, a long time. It only comes up in certain situations, and those certain situations are, you know, when I'm in relationships. I've been sitting and reflecting on it today and thinking like, I need to overcome this fear. I guess let's talk about overcoming fear. Do you know what? To talk about your fears is bloody scary. To talk about your fears and your insecurities and those things that you're truly afraid of at your core, you know, that is difficult. But I think it's part of the process. I think honesty is part of the process, and we need to be, number one, honest about our fears and actually honest about the depths at which they go to. Why don't I even express my fear right now? My fear right now is that I'm a female and I find myself in relationships with women. I typically go for women that have a very feminine appearance. And a lot of the time, those women can be straight. When I'm with women that have been with men or that are straight, you know, by their label or whatever, I still really struggle to get over the fact that their preference is men. And I have a deep-rooted fear of them leaving me to be with a man. And it freaking haunts me, man. It absolutely haunts me and drives me crazy. And what it does is that fear, it actually stops me from being me. You know, I'm actually stressed and tense about it. It changes who I am when I'm tapped into this fear, when I'm thinking about this fear, when I'm visualizing it in my head or trying to wrap my head around it. And I can no longer really be Holly, the fun Holly, the enjoyable Holly to be around. And then that just triggers me even more. I think now is the time for me to basically overcome that fear. Openness and honesty is essential when it comes to overcoming fears. Whether that be your fear is linked to somebody else like mine, I need to sit and actually openly communicate that with the individual and talk about how I'm feeling, which I have. But yeah, I think that's an essential part, and you need to sit there and be honest with yourself and write it out and look at it and talk about it and not reject it. Don't try and compress that fear, because, you know, fear is not here on this dense plane. It's not dense like the human body. It's in the air almost, you know, you can't see it. But if we keep compressing that fear and just keeping it into ourselves, I really feel like that energy becomes dense, and then that's when we get tightness, illness, and sometimes even disease. So I think we do need to express it. We need to let it out in some way, shape or form. I think that's a big part of it. Communication, talking about it, writing it down, expressing it, you know, and not being afraid to express it. We need to get over the ego in some way, shape or form and express our weaknesses, express our insecurities and express our fears, no matter how hard it is to do so, because they have to be heard and seen. If we've got to be an open ear for our fears. We gotta hear our fears and just be open to them and love them and accept that they're there. It's not about trying to beat down our fears or battle them or hide them or compress them, or, you know, it's about really just loving them and noticing them and giving them the attention that they need, and hearing them. So that's the first part, I guess. And then the second part, like, how do you actually let go of a fear? That's the hard thing, do you know what I mean? How do you let go of a fear? So I think there's an attitude that you must adapt. You've got to develop a growth mindset, right? And that you do that by taking opportunities to learn from every opportunity, every situation you are confronted with, right? Take every situation as an opportunity to learn. And once you've done that, once you keep consistently doing that, your mind changes and it starts to think about, how do I grow from any form of pain, from any form of suffering, from any situation, from any form of discomfort? How can I grow? What can I learn about myself? And how can I develop as an individual from that? And that kind of gives you almost like a fearless approach. It doesn't mean there won't be fears that pop up, you know, but it gives you a fearless approach to life in some way, shape or form. You might be afraid, but you'll step into it anyway, because there's something it can teach you. And that's the beauty of it, you know, and you start, you might have the fear, but you're more obsessed with the beauty of learning. And so it allows you to basically get out of your comfort zone if you have a growth, like a mindset that is programmed to growth. You'll face anything. You'll face it, even if you're a bit afraid of it, you know, and that's what's really cool. And finally, having faith. And the funny thing is, I pulled this. I make TikTok videos that are oracle card pulls, right? And I film a few a day. And I pulled this card today, Faith. And this is my own personal oracle deck, right? So, me and my creative partner at the time, we developed an oracle deck together. It's called an Unfoldment of Consciousness by Maha Arten, which is mine and her joint sort of names together. It's a beautiful deck of cards, actually, and I'll put the link in the description if you're interested in the deck. It's really, people are loving it. It's a beautiful deck. So, that's that anyway. But I pulled Faith, and then I got on to thinking about some fears. The story doesn't really need to be told. But this is the answer. This is almost how you overcome fear. And you overcome fear, I think, through having faith. And once again, it almost sounds religious, and there's a lot of beauty and a lot of wisdom in religion. I love it. But faith, true faith, is not hope, and that's the thing, you know. So for me, right, in this situation, for example, that I'm in, and I'm afraid of being left for a guy, whatever, I can sit there and I can hope that I don't. I can sit there and hope that doesn't happen. Or I can sit there and have faith. And faith is different. It's not having faith that won't happen. It's having faith that if that happens, or if it doesn't, whatever the outcome, be it desirable, obviously desirable for me is that it doesn't happen, or undesirable for me is that does happen. Whatever happens, right, the universe is trying to teach me something. And I have faith not only that I will learn something, but that I have all the equipment, all the energy, all the tools, all of the stuff inside of me, that if that does happen, that I can overcome it, that I can heal from the pain. If I'm experiencing pain, that I can heal, that I can grow, that I can love, and that I can move on if I need to. Do you know what I mean? That I can heal from that. And that is the beauty of faith. And I think that is how you overcome fear. If you're afraid of something right now, be honest with yourself about it. Talk about it. Sit and think about it. Write about it. Let it out. Let that fear outside of you. Let it out of you, you know. Express it in some way. Be that to yourself in the mirror, sitting alone, with pen and paper, express it. Secondly, start learning to develop a growth mindset. You know, start taking every opportunity as an opportunity to learn and develop and grow and learn more about yourself. And thirdly, have faith. Have faith that You know, whatever these pains are, fears are, whatever these situations that you're afraid of, if they happen, know that it's the universe actually delivering you love, tough love, you know, and then also have faith that you have everything it takes to overcome it if it is to arise. And that, I think, is how you breathe fear out. You take on board faith. Now, if you made it this far, obviously, thank you for watching. I appreciate that. If you like this content, why not subscribe to my channel? Because I have heaps more to come. Here is a little bit about what other content I offer, because honestly, there is heaps. So, once again, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Remember to have faith, and I will see you in the next video.